Hey guys, good evening. It is John Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. I'm glad you've joined me. Check out my hat, believe me, achieve.com. All right, so we're wrapping up a very, very important master topic here this evening. It is Friday. It's March 29, 2024. Whether you're here at 7:23 p.m., 7:23 a.m., 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 6 a.m., 6 p.m., doesn't matter. Thank you so much for being here. Really do appreciate that. And what is visualization? Series 3, Show 13. That's what we've been talking about all week long. That is what we have been talking about all week long. And if you're wondering why, well, because it's a very, very important thing. Visualization is something that everyone needs to do. And if you don't visualize, ladies and gentlemen, I got news for you. You're going to have problems. Visualization is what gets us to the point of our life that says, hey, I want to do that. I want to be like that. But we just don't know why. It's like, it's this, I'm going to call it this a magic stuff that we can't necessarily touch directly. And so I want to share this with you because this is a real key ingredient, ladies and gentlemen, to living the life that you've always, always wanted to. And so when we think about visualization, all right, we think about visualization, it's important to understand that life makes differences. Okay, life makes a difference. And the way we can actually make a difference in our life is by understanding what a visualization is. What is a visualization all about? And so if we can understand that, that's a really big part. So tonight's master topic is visualize your victory. Yep, today's Friday, and it's time to visualize your victory. We're on series 3, show 13, episode number 7. But in order for us to do that, we need to understand what it means to visualize our victory. We don't just say, hey, I want a victory, and it just happens. No, there's some work that you have to put in. And so I will tell you that that's what's important. You've got to be able to understand what that is. So number one, get in a relaxed state. You'll say to me, John, how do I get in a relaxed state? Well, it's really simple. You can start out by just sitting back in the chair. You can close your eyes like so. Get deep breath. Inhale for the count of 3 and hold it for the count of 3 and exhale. Go ahead and do that with the number 2. Inhale for the count of 3 by holding number 2 in your mind 3 times. Hold it. Count of 3. Picture number 2 and then exhale. Release the number 2. One more time. Do it with the number 1. Picture and visualize the number 1. Hold it for 3 and exhale. And just allow yourself to relax. All right. So that's how you would do that. You can keep your eyes closed or not. It's perfectly up to you. It's fine. So now that you're in a relaxed state, you can do that by just breathing. You can do that by just sitting. You can count backwards. You could just do a body scan, which we've done before, head to toe or toe all the way up. One of the ways I do my mindful meditation is I start with my toes, with my very big toe, then my second toe, third, fourth, fifth. I picture the energy coming all the way up inside from the heels, all the way up to the base of my foot, all the way into my legs and buttocks. And so I picture that, and that is up my calves, and I picture coming up into the shins, back, groin, lower abdomen, mid-abdomen, upper abdomen, heart, throat, neck, shoulders, all the way down the forearms, down all the way down to the wrists, to the fingertips, back up to the heads, all the way back down. You get the idea. Now, the next thing you do after you get into a relaxed state is you have to know what you want and what it looks like. Well, of course I know what I want. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people don't know what they want or what it looks like. Maybe you want a new car, but you have no idea what that new car looks like. You just don't have an idea. And so how can you get something or want something if you don't know what it looks like? So you got to do some research, right? You got to go test drive that car. I've done that many times. What's it going to look like? What's it going to feel like, right? So we got to work on imagination now. So now that you're in the car or whatever it is that you're looking at, how do you imagine? So you imagine by captivating while you're, let's say, in the car, wherever you are, you're taking in through your senses that you see, hear, touch, taste, smell. You're seeing the car, the color. You're noticing all the attributes of it. You're hearing the engine. You're hearing any sounds from the car. You're touching. You're feeling the texture of the senses. Right. You're not tasting anything, but maybe you're smelling the newness of the car. Right. Or maybe there was a taste. Maybe there was a candy bar that you got when you were at the dealership. Could be. Right. So, what I want you to kind of do is to think of it like you're storing this for later on. So then, when you go home and you, let's say, want to drive your proverbial car, you can actually say, well, what did it look like? What was the color of it? What did it feel like, sitting in it? What did my back feel against the chair? What did my buttocks feel against the seat? How did my hands feel on the driving wheel? What did I hear when I was in the car? Okay. Um, what I see, what I hear, what I touch, not tasting anything, what I smell. I smelt the newness. Okay. So that's going to help us later on to be able, when we go back home, wherever we are, we want to re envision that car. We don't have the car. So we need to make sure that when we are actually researching the car or research whatever we're having, that we're creating these, I'll call it these memory points, memory sensory stimulation points that are going to be able to allow us to recall as if we're actually sitting in that car right now. Pretty cool, right? The next thing you need to do is change the position of it. So maybe, you saw the car and it was there. I want you to change the position of it. Why don't you change that? Maybe that car is now in your driveway. Picture yourself in the car, right? Picture yourself driving it off the lot, maybe taking it to your favorite restaurant, right? Maybe taking it to a sports event. There's lots of things you could do with that car. Maybe driving that car and just feeling the wind against the back of your neck or from the sunroof, get the wind coming through, hearing the sounds from your sound system. Maybe listening to the navigations. These are all things you can do. So we talk about the position and then we talk about the surroundings. So position is how we're looking at the car. So we could be looking at the car, let's say from the back, from the side. We can look at it from the back. We can look at it from the passenger side. We can look at it from the front, from the top, maybe from the bottom. And you want to get all these views when you're going to look at the car or whatever it is. You've got to make sure that you capture all this data. So, oh, gee, well, I remember what it was like when I walked in the back of the car. I remember what it was like when I pushed the button and I heard that beep and then the hatch came up. Or I remember what it's like when I walked toward the car and the car automatically opened. Or I remember what's happened. I walked away, started walking away. The car chirped or beep, letting me know the alarm came on. So these are all things you could do. Changing the surroundings. Now we could do this with something as simple as an apple, and I recommend that you practice with things like that because it's easy to practice with something smaller. Maybe you can picture an apple, right? So picture that apple. If you don't know what an apple looks like, go get an apple, and picture what the apple looks like. What's the color? Is it shiny red? Is it a dull red? Are there any pigments on the outside you can notice? Any speckles? Notice the stem on it. How does it feel in your hand? Go ahead and pick it up. What does it feel like? Maybe rotate the apple a little bit. Look at the other side. What does it feel like? Maybe shake it. Can you hear it a little bit? Now take that apple and put it towards your mouth, or maybe you want to cut it like what I like to do a lot of times is I like to cut the apple in an apple slicer. So I put it on the counter and I use the apple slicer and I push down and I just take one of those pieces of the apple and I can just bring it up to my mouth. And I can feel and taste the juices going down from my mouth into my throat. And it's just so amazing. And I have attracted that apple into my life. So when we create enough of engagement that wants us to move forward, our body automatically creates the conditions for that to happen. Pretty wild, right? All right. So we learned a lot tonight. We talked about the fact that in order to visualize, there are lots of things you can do, right? One thing you can do is you can basically do one of the most important things, which is get in a relaxed state. We have to get in a relaxed state. Know what you want and what it looks like. If it doesn't, go research how to imagine. It's not hard. Just be playful with it. If I asked you to imagine, since we're getting close to Easter, imagine a hard boiled egg. Can you do that? All right. Now imagine that hard boiled egg being dyed in one of your favorite colors, green, blue, red, whatever color you want, yellow. And now take that egg, picture that egg in your hand. I want you to take the egg, feel it, and shake it. It doesn't really make any noise. And now just crack it against the side of a cup or the table, and then just take the egg shell off, and now eat the egg. You can feel that, feel the sensation. So when we create these sensual sensation points, our mind has to follow that. It just has to. Maybe you were at a swimming pool just the other day. And maybe you're going back somewhere where there isn't a swimming pool. You can actually envision what it was like to be in a swimming pool. I'll give you an example. I was at a play, a concert the other night. Amazing band. And I just remember holding my hands just right here in my chest and just kind of like smiling because the music was so liberating. It was so much fun. And so I could do that every single day, just hold my hand just like this right on my chest, just kind of like just feeling the song, feeling the vibration. See, getting what we want is about feeling first. We have to feel the vibration. Once you feel the vibration, the rest of the world starts to take care of itself for us. And you got to believe. Just like my slogan says, believemeachieve.com, right? Very, very important. So we've talked a lot today. How to imagine, change the position, whether it's an apple, whether it's a car, whether it's a thumbtack, whether it's a light bulb, whether it's a kite, doesn't matter. So change the position of it. Now change the surrounding of it. Instead of it being, let's say the apple being on a, I don't know, on a napkin, put it on a plate. Put it on a glass clear plate. Put it on a Pyrex plate. Put it in a plastic bowl. Put it in a glass. Put it in the blender and or your Vitamix and make apple juice out of it, right? Maybe add a little bit of prosecco or something to add a little flavor to it, and then have a nice taste with that. So you get the idea. So we want to creatively play with our imagination. And when we creatively play our imagination, it's like, hey, this is a lot of fun. I want to do more of this. I want to do more of this. Maybe you like to plant, and that's therapeutic for you. While you're planting, you can feel what it's like to just dig your hands into the soil. Maybe you like to play basketball. I like to bowl. So one of the things I like to do a lot of times, I like to practice and picture myself bowling in my alley, just practicing bowling and seeing that strike, feeling that strike, hearing that strike. You get the idea? So we creatively play, and when we play, our mind's like, hey, this is fun. I want to do more of this. And your wish is my command. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. First of all, if you are celebrating Easter this Sunday, a very happy, healthy, blessed, wonderful Easter. If you are celebrating it with myself. Also, today, if you're celebrating Easter this weekend, I do wish you the most solemn and very reverent days for Good Friday. I hope it's a great weekend with you and your family. If you're not celebrating Easter, well, I still hope it's a good weekend with your friends, family, and those that you love. And remember, there is never a better time than to creatively play with our mind. Because when we do, the whole world becomes our oyster. Have yourself a fantastic rest of your night. And I'll come up with a brand new master topic for you guys tomorrow. All right, everyone, be well and take care.